Really?
Yeah.
Where did you do your high school? This is CCl4. Carbon tetraalkyl is like heavier than water. Okay, we can see it in liquid phase. Carbon disulfide, people use a lot in using HTGC. Okay, it's just clear color. You see it and it look like very innocent. No problem. Don't touch it. Okay, none of this is good. COS or carbon disulfide has lethal concentration of 3000 ppm. So at 3000 ppm, it kills 50% of rats in 9 minutes. Okay. CS2 carbon disulfide has a LC low or lowest lethal concentration of 4000 ppm. You die in 30 minutes to expose to 4000 ppm. Okay. So it's dangerous. Okay. If you smell it, then it's not good. So this is MSDS. We have NFPA rating. 3 for NFPA is the National Fire Protection Agency rating. We use the NFPA 704 rating standard. So carbon disulfide, we have health rating of 3. Okay, fire rating of 4. And instability rating of 1. Okay, and it is flammable. This picture show pressurized gas. Okay, that picture show is fatal, harmful, very harmful. Okay, acute toxicity. CS2 has health rating of 3. Health rating of 3 means extremely danger. You die. Okay, that is extremely danger. Instability rating of 1 means it's 0 is stable, 1 is unstable if heated. Okay, this is, what is that symbol? Health hazard. So I didn't teach you all the symbol. Okay, I teach you just some. This can be in the exam. It probably is. Okay, we don't have any symbol. We have that. That means harmful. Okay, a little bit less than deadly. So flammability, if it says 3, means flash point is below 100 Fahrenheit. If it says 4, flash point is below 73 Fahrenheit. Okay, so it has low flash point, it's easy to catch fire. Okay, so blue is health hazard, red flammability. So you know all this before? No? Should you know all this? Yes, because when you see high number is not good. If it's 0, 0, 0, then it's good. When it's 3, means you touch it, you're dead. Okay. This is the acid gas that we try to remove. Okay, solid bed. Solid bed look like a reactor. That reactor, okay, inside it have the solid particle that catch or form some kind of reaction. So it's a fixed bed solid particle. Okay, it used to remove acid gas. We flow acid gas through that solid bed. The gas that come out sweet, but still wet. Okay, so you have chemical reaction. Sometimes we have ionic bonding. Commonly used process is ion sponge sulfate. Okay, gas stream flow through the fixed bed of solid particle. Acid gas are held in the bed. Okay, clean gas pass through. Okay, ion sponge process. The process, write this down. It uses iron sulfide, Fe2O3. Okay, so in the exam when they ask what kind of reaction happened, or iron sponge use what kind of chemical to remove acid gas? Fe2O3. B is something else. C is something else in one say. Okay, the way that we do it is good for H2S less than 300 ppm. Okay, it doesn't remove CO2. Inside, it has this kind of chemical reaction. Okay, it requires pH 8 to 10, temperature less than 110 for reaction to occur. This ferric oxide is impregnated on wood chip. So you have a bag of wood chip and you put it in the reactor and you flow the gas through. This wood chip catch the acid gas. The gas is coming out is sweet. So this is for 50 to 500 psi. So it's not for very concentrated, less than 300 ppm. The gas plant that you will visit is have much more ppm. Okay, so they don't have this. Okay, when we use it, after a while it will degrade. We have to regenerate it. So the way that they regenerate it, they do oxidize with air, use carefully regenerate with exothermic reaction with air, okay, kind of burn it or have some kind of chemical reaction. So we have it fresh again. But after we do the regeneration, sulfur element remain at the bottom, okay, it remain around the wood chip. It causes more pressure drop. So after 10 times of regeneration, we have to replace the bed. Jayanti, did you restart it? Okay. So this is iron sponge. What is the takeaway from this? Iron ferric oxide, we put it on the wood chip. It is a solid bed. Iron sponge used to remove water on H2S, H2S. Okay. This is the takeaway. Advantages: complete removal of small medium concentration of H2S without removing CO2, relatively small investment. Okay. Equally effective at any operating pressure, used to remove mercaptan or convert them to disulfide. We have to regenerate them after 10 times. We have to buy a new one. Okay. A batch process requires duplicate installation. When we have flow interruption, prone to have hydrate formation when we operate in the hydrate phase envelope. Coating iron sponge with entrained oil, okay, or this that require more frequent change of iron sponge bed. So whatever comes in shouldn't have oil. If it have oil, we have to change it. It effectively remove ethyl mercaptan. Is that good to remove mercaptan? But mercaptan is used to add for, you can smell it, for odorization. So these are disadvantages. Another process is similar to that solid bed. It's just different chemical reaction. It is a sulfur treat process. So similar to iron sponge process, utilize chemical reaction of ferric oxide iron 3 with H2S. Remove H2S, not CO2. Same, right? Proprietary iron oxide co-product mixed with porous bed. So what is it? We don't know. It's a trade secret. If you buy it, then you can use it, but they don't really tell you how to make it. Okay. Work better at elevated temperature. No pH level control required as in iron sponge case. In iron sponge case, the pH has to be 8 to 10 or something. Right? So, but this doesn't need to have pH control. Beds are not regenerated and must be replaced when the bed is spent. Molecular sip, so we have two of them. Right? So basically it's a reactor and we put something inside so that we have chemical reaction. This chemical reaction catch H2S and let sweet gas coming out. Another way is molecular sip process. So molecular sip process look like this. Don't eat it, okay? It's like a small ball or some small rod. Okay. This molecular sip is synthetically manufactured crystalline solid in dry bed. It has pore crystalline structure of solid. It attracts the polar molecule. Okay, the structure forms some kind of ionic bond with polar gas. What does it mean? Do we have chemical reaction? Not really. It's form ionic bond. Okay, H2S and water vapor, they are polar molecules, so it's also attract. CO2 is about the same size of H2S but non-polar, so CO2 is not attracted. CO2 can be bonded with H2S or H2O and blocking the active site. Optimal operating pressure is 300 to 400. So molecular sieve is another method to remove acid gas. Okay, it's used by have a hot sweet gas flow through the bed, and from time to time we have to regenerate it. Gas break the ionic bond and remove H2S and H2O in the active site. So this is how we regenerate it. We use it several times, then it stopped working. What do? We flow hot and sweet gas in it to make it work again. Okay, good. When we use it, we have sour gas coming in, sweet gas going out. When we use it for a while, it stopped working. When it stopped working, we have to regenerate it. To regenerate it, we heat it up and we put hot and sweet stripping gas. So basically, the natural gas that is no H2S in it, we put it in, then it helps to remove anything that attached to the active side and make it work again. Okay. When we use it, the solid crystal can be mechanically damaged, and we have by sudden pressure or temperature change. Okay. So when we regenerate it several times, we may have to change it. Okay. So we use this method when we use for small gas stream, okay, not for a lot. They use it for cryogenic process, polishing gas application. So when we have a lot coming in, we don't do this. But this is one of the methods to remove H2S. So how many methods do we have for solid bed? Molecular sieve, solid bed, sulfur treat, solid bed, iron sponge, solid bed. Okay, we have 3. Can you do an exam? Yes. So those are 3 solid bed that we cover in class. If I ask you, molecular sieve, is that the bed that we use to remove water? You said, no, it's not molecular sieve. Okay, membrane. Another method is membrane. You will see this Thursday and Friday. It removes based on the ability of gas to diffuse through the membrane. It doesn't work like a filter. It's not a filter. It doesn't have hole. It doesn't have any pore. It's non-porous media. Okay, it's a polymer. Membrane has no pore. Okay, porous layer is just for mechanical strength for the support. H2S and CO2 dissolve and diffuse quickly through the membrane. Okay, methane, ethane, other hydrocarbon permeate slower. Okay. In the gas plant, you will find out. Okay, trying to find out why do they use it? Do they use it to remove H2S and CO2 from this, or they use it for other purpose? Okay, go there and you will find out. This is how it looks like. So it has several of them. So each of them has a membrane in it. We have the feed coming in, and the rich gas come out, the lean gas come another way, so the membrane used to separate. After it flows to the membrane, one of them will have a lot of CO2, one of them may not have another CO2, so it used to do the separation, help to do the separation. Membrane is expensive, okay? You may want to ask that price. Okay, it's very expensive for this membrane to work. So this is another method to remove acid gas. Membrane doesn't do 100% removal. Okay, it doesn't. It will have some gas that go with the stream that doesn't diffuse through. So not every H2S will go through the membrane. This is not 100%, but it is still good. Okay. So what about solvent? Solvent is the method that people use it. Okay, very effective. Okay, and it's for high quantity of H2S. When we have a lot of H2S, we may have to use membrane first, and then after membrane we do this solvent. Okay, the solvent have a chemical reaction because these are chemical solvents. We have MEA, DEA, MDEA, DTA, DIPA, or blah, 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 blah. What do you memorize? You have to know this name, that name, and that name. That is the commonly used. MEA, M is for mono, E is ethanol. A is amine, but this is actually the whole word. It's a monoethanolamine, diethanolamine, and methyl diethanolamine. Okay, so use is remove CO2, H2S, not reactant. It remove carbon dioxide, carbon sulfide. Okay, it remove other acid gas. Good. So when we see tall tower, that is probably either amine contact tower or glycol contact tower. What is this amine? Okay. We can have primary amine. Amine is R connect with N. This is primary amine. Oh, let me call some here. Those who didn't come last time. Bologan, Mr. Bologan, let me ask. What is R? R1 and R2, what is that? R. Residual carbon, maybe? How does that R look like, Mr. Bologan?
How does it look like?
How does it look like? Oh, okay. Very interesting. How does that R look like? What element that it contains is that R? Does it have oxygen? Yes or no? No? Correct, very good. Katie Ramirez, what is that R? It has what and what? Does it have carbon? Hydrogen? Yeah, it's a bunch of carbon. It's arranged in a certain format that we don't need to care about it. It has carbon and oxygen. It can be straight chain or branch, several branch, or have a ring. It's hydrocarbon, hydrogen and carbon. Okay, this is a hydrocarbon. A certain chain of hydrocarbon, no nitrogen, no oxygen, just C and H. Okay, that is that R. If we have two lines or two part of that hydrocarbon attached, and N, this nitrogen has two, N has three hands, right, to form a covalent bond. So if we have two hydrogen, that is primary amine. If we have just one hydrogen, that is a secondary amine. If all is occupied by a change of hydrocarbon, that is tertiary amine. Okay. Most common solvent is aminocarbonate. Aqueous solution of weak base. So it is a base, right? Base react with acid. Chemically react and absorb the acid gas. Regeneration is completed by changing the system temperature pressure. So when we use it cold. When we want to regenerate it, we heat it up. Okay? So when we heat amine up, when it's getting hot, it releases acid gas. And then it becomes lean amine, right? When it's getting cold, it's good to catch those acid gas. So when it's cold, it will react or absorb acid gas. So when we want to regenerate it, we heat it up. Okay, this is amine. And primary, secondary amine, tertiary amine. Is amine safe? Is it safe? It's safe enough for this field trip. When you go there, it's very safe. No problem with it. You will see the sign 310. What is 310? Mr. Bologan, what is that tree? What is that tree about? Flammability? Health hazard rating? Is that health hazard? It causes cancer. Blue is a health hazard. What does that zero mean, Mr. Bologan? Everything for safety. Stability. Zero means it's stable. One means it's unstable when we heat it. Number one here means what? What is number one? Flash point between 3 and 400. So below, above 200 F, that is number one. That's flammability limit. Okay. Zero means it won't burn. Okay. So this is health hazard. and that's corrosive. This is monoethanolamine, okay, or MEA. DEA, diethanolamine, is corrosive, health hazard, and what's that one? Is what would be over there? So that is harmful, just harmful, not that fatal, okay? Harmful, not acute toxic. So it's harmful. So what about MDEA? MDEA. What about that? Is it safer than the rest? Yeah, the health rating is just 1. It's not like that bad. It's bad, but the bad rating is just 1. It's not that bad. Flammability is just 1, and it's a little bit, or it's kind of less harmful. Okay, better health rating. Okay, so MDA maybe a little bit friendly to use. How do we use it? We put it in a tall tower and have several trays. So this tower has tray. And so we flow lean amine or MDA from the top. Lean means what? What is lean amine? Lean. What is lean? Lean, okay. What is lean amine? Oh, in the exam you have to answer this, you know that, right? Lean amine means amine with no acid. Okay, that is lean amine. When it's going down, it becomes rich MDA. What is rich MDA? Rich means a lot of H2S is inside. So how do we regenerate it? We have another tower, heat it up. Okay, why amine have to go from the top? Why does amine go from the bottom? Because amine is liquid, right? Liquid is heavy than gas, so it's falling down. Gas is light, gas going out, right? So we put gas with some H2S from the bottom, so you can see that it's less than 2%. It's not ppm anymore. It's not ppm, but it's percent. So we have acid gas from the bottom go up. So in each tray, it has a cap. Okay, we don't go into that detail. There's a lot of detail to be designed. It's how many trays do we need, how many cap, or what is the spacing. No, you don't need to know that. Okay, just know that there's a cap inside, and when we have enough pressure, the cap will open and it go to the next tray. Okay, so we have tray and cap to do what? What do we need tray? Do we want to maximize the contact area, maybe? So if I have just one big column of MDA, no tray, no nothing, and flow bubble it doesn't stay there long. Okay, it doesn't have a lot of retention time. It doesn't have much contact area. So, but when I have tray, I force it to go through each tray slower. It has more contact area. So in the tower, it has tray. Amine comes from the top. Lean amine comes from the top. So lean, is it cold or hot? Is that cold or that is hot? Cold. Who wants cold? Like I want. Okay, the rest fail. Okay, is this cold? So it's cold from top. Why do I say cold? Because when it's cold, it's good to catch those acid gas. When it's hot, then it's not good to catch acid gas. So cold is relatively cold. Okay? It's not like freezing. It's not hot. Okay, from the top. When it go from the bottom, it go to the regeneration process. We heat it up. Okay, the process is. Oh, what you need to know is this. Base properties of amine degrades from primary to tertiary amine. Okay? Primary reacts stronger. Primary amine reacts stronger to CO2 and H2S than tertiary amine. The process is sour gas coming in. We have inlet scrubber. What is inlet scrubber? What is inlet scrubber? It is a separator, a baby separator. We talk about maybe this time is maybe a little bit big. So we have inlet scrubber What does that inlet scrubber do for the sour gas? Remove what? Any liquid. Separator remove, what is the role of separator? Remove liquid, right? So we have inlet scrubber, remove any water, any hydrocarbon, anything that is in liquid phase, okay? And then gas go up into the absorber tower. This thing we call absorber tower. Amine flow down in the absorber tower is lean and it become rich, okay? So regeneration process, absorber tower is used to absorption. It have absorption process. Absorption means it catching those things into itself and become a rich amine. So absorber we also call contactor. This one is called regenerator. So when we have rich amines on the bottom, this rich amine, right? Then what do? We want to make it a little bit hotter. This is a heat exchanger. And it go into this another tower. In another tower, what do? We heat it up. So it go through several trays to the bottom. At the bottom we have pump. Okay, we heat it up in the regenerator. When we heat it up, gas will come out from amine. So gas goes to the top, acid gas goes to the top. Methane is sweet gas, right? Go here. But acid gas go to the top and coming out. The acid gas that coming out is the H2S. Okay. For sweet gas that coming out, what is that sweet gas? What is that sweet gas? Arif? What is it? What is that sweet gas? Majority, the highest amount in that sweet gas, highest volume percent, what is that?
Water.
Come on. What is the gas that we try to sell that is have heating value between 1000? Methane, CH4. So this is CH4, mainly CH4, okay, maybe 95% CH4. Methane coming out and it have some water vapor, and we remove that by use dehydrator unit, okay, or glycol contact tower. Last exam, several years ago, what I do is I erase this, several things, and you put the word sweet over there. You can do this, right? Tell me where is the sweet amine, lean amine, rich amine, which one is an absorber, which one is a regenerator. No problem, right? Oh, you have problems. So try to do that. So this is amine process. We may have 20 to 24 trays inside. Outlet separator is for getting MEA back from the sweet gas. DEA does not need this. So on the outlet, sometimes we have another separator. Okay, outlet separator, but for sometimes you see this outlet separator on the top, outlet separator. So this means some sweet gas also carry some of the chemical solvent with it. We don't want to lose any chemical solvent, so we may have to have another separator on the top. Okay, but DEA doesn't need that. Let's go back a little bit. Monoethylene glycol, is that primary, secondary, or tertiary amine? Primary, correct. What about di? That's secondary. Okay. So that's diamine have two of that. Okay. MEA is primary amine. Regeneration, we heat it up to that hot, acid gas coming out. Okay. Disadvantage. When it react with carbonyl sulfide, it can form or that it can form some salt and we cannot regenerate it. Okay, that's disadvantage. MDA methyl diethanolamine is never processed. When you go to gas plant, tell me, do they use MEA, DEA, MDA, or DIPA, or whatever, tell me that, okay? What kind of amine that they use? That could be an example. This MDA is for selective removal of H2S in the presence of CO2, okay? MDA does not quite remove CO2, okay? MDA is tertiary amine. Okay, it have nitrogen and the rest have 3 arms. Okay, advantage, need less heat to regenerate it. Energy requirement can be reduced by 75% changing from DA to MDA. And it's less harmful. Okay, this is MDA. Or this is amine that we use it. So, what is the takeaway? What is the takeaway that you get? What do you know from this? Indro, what do you learn, sir? I learned about how gas plants remove acid gas. Okay, I know that ion sponge is a solid bed, sulfate is another solid bed. We can have molecular sieve, we can have membrane. Okay, and we can have chemical solvent. Chemical solvent can have MEAD, AMDA, primary amine react stronger than secondary and tertiary. And I know that we have amine contact tower. How tall is this amine contact tower? Is it this tall? So it may be not very tall in the field case, like you see in the picture. In the gas plant, it's very tall. The tallest building is maybe the tall, not building, but the tower, maybe that, or glycol contact tower. You ask them, okay, you see, hey, what is that? Is that the amine tower or glycol tower? They'll tell you. All right, there's another process, physical solvent. Physical solvent is different than chemical solvent. Okay, it works in a different way. Okay, we have several of them. Your job is tell me what do they use in a gas plant. I believe they use Selexol. Okay, this is the name of the solvent, is a trade name. Okay, so they use to remove acid gas. Okay, this is physical solvent. So physical solvent, acid gas soluble in solvent, no chemical reaction. Higher acid gas, partial pressure increase the acid gas solubility. Okay. What is partial pressure? What is partial pressure of acid gas? What does it mean? Does that mean more ppm? Yes. Okay. More ppm means higher partial pressure. Higher partial pressure means more concentration of solid gas. Solubility is not a strong function of the temperature. So is that good? So it's more sensitive to the pressure case, and you will see what do we do to regenerate it. Regeneration requires a lot less energy compared to chemical solvent. Regeneration, Mr. Fong, what is regeneration process? What is it? What are you talking about? Where did I say? What is the regeneration process when we talk about chemical solvent? What is regeneration process? The process to remove what from what? Oh my God, I want to help you. Arif, what is the regeneration process for chemical solvent?
It's like the process where you can regenerate the chemicals again.
Generate the amine again by remove the acid gas out by heating it. Okay, for the case of chemical solvent, every time we have to regenerate it. Otherwise, once we use it, it cannot be used anymore. Okay, if we don't regenerate it, we cache it. When we cache the gas, we move it to another regeneration tower. In the regeneration tower, we heat it up to remove acid gas out. If we don't heat it up, it's a used chemical solvent that cannot be reused. We cannot use a rich amine that already have acid gas to catch more acid gas in it. We have to remove that gas out. That is called regeneration process. The process that used to remove acid gas out from amine, okay, for chemical process. So in this case, it uses less energy, so it flash at lower pressure, okay. So some solvent just need to flash to regenerate. Is that good? So we don't need to heat it up to remove gas from the solvent. We just reduce the pressure. Heat it is a costly process, but we just this time for the physical solvent, we just flash it, reduce the pressure, gas will come out, acid gas will come out. Okay, some solvent will require stripping column. Physical solvent has high affinity for heavy hydrocarbon. Okay, so if hydrocarbon cannot be recovered, we have to not have any hydrocarbon. Let's compare it. Okay, high acid gas partial pressure is ideal for physical solvent application. This means if we have a lot of gas, like 5% or 50% H2S, it's very concentrated H2S. Use physical solvents will be more efficient, okay, for very high pressure pressure. So this is solvent loading, the amount of solvent loading and the partial pressure. So linear over here, they try to say that physical solvents work properly, linearly. Okay? Chemical solvents stop to work when we have too much partial pressure. That's what I get when I read that website from UOP. Physical solvent select salt process, I think this is what they use. Okay, it uses dimethyl ether or polyethylene glycol as a solvent licensed by UOP. Okay, so economical when high gas and partial pressure exists. So when we have concentrated H2S gas, we use this. We should not have any heavy end. Okay, acid gas partial pressure should be more than 50 psi. Is preferable. Okay, it operates at that pressure. Select salt also remove water to make it dry too. Okay, regeneration requires less energy compared to chemical solvent, so it's less operating cost. Okay, flash at low pressure to remove CO2, strip by steam to remove H2S, so we can separate them, right? High selectivity of H2S over CO2 can be used for CO2 recovery. So when I want to do the CO2 flooding, I want to flood just CO2, not H2S. What do? I use select salt process to remove H2S from CO2. Okay. This is how I do it. Okay. We flash at low pressure. This is absorber. It has a tray. Select salt come from the top. Gas come from the bottom. After we separate it, we try to regenerate it. To regenerate it, we flash in just a vessel to reduce the pressure. When we reduce the pressure, CO2 coming out. Okay, and gas that already flashed, we pump to increase the pressure, so it's a lean gas already and it come back. So it's very easy to regenerate. To regenerate it, we just remove the pressure. Any question on this? So select salt for sulfur removal is a little bit more complicated. Basically, it has two towers. To strip H2S, we have stripper tower. We will try to cover this. Okay, when you go to the field trip, try to ask them about what they are using. Thank you for coming. That's it for today. Make sure you have hard hat, safety glass, steel toe shoes, FRC. So to have that FRC, you have long pants and everything. Those who don't have it, go to room 201 with Mr. Bulla to get it. Thank you for coming this afternoon. We will have Aya in the office hour to go over exam if you need to. Okay. From 1 to 3.